Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Now, this is a really strange video that I didn't expect to be making, especially I didn't expect to be making so soon, because just a couple of days ago, I made the G2 Sue video where G2 was on top of the world. They were on a 24-game win streak. They just beat T1. They just beat RNG. They were like 5-0 against Evil Geniuses. It seemed like they were the best team in the world. It seems like Caps was the best player in the world. And it seems like Jankos, was kind of on pace to add a second MSI trophy to his trophy case. But since then, some things have changed. The narrative is flipped. The script has been turned upside down. And I really think that Jankos is in trouble, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. But first, a word from today's sponsor, which is, of course, Prize Picks. This is daily fantasy made easy. You simply pick your favorite stars, choose your over-under, and watch your players win. They offer a whole host of different games and offerings, including esports, including League of Legends esports. They do LEC, LCS. They did EU Masters, which was pretty cool and unexpected. And of course, they're doing MSI right now. Some of the picks that I'm looking at for tomorrow's games are going to be Jankos over 3 kills against Saigon Buffalo. It's going to be a big game for G2, where I think Jankos is going to have a big game. But I also have Froggy over 1.5 kills. Froggy's been playing pretty well recently. 1.5 kills seems too low. And then I have Danny over 3.5 kills against PSG Talon. I think EG is going to win, and if EG is going to win, Danny's going to have to probably pop off. I think he's going to have more kills than that. But if you guys want to make some picks of your own, check out the first link in the description below. Prize Picks is going to match your first deposit up to $100 for new users, which is a really awesome deal. So thank you so much to them for supporting my channel and my content. Hopefully you guys check them out. And with that being said, let's get right into this. So obviously, like I was saying, G2 just a couple of days ago, they were on top of the world. They were on this crazy win streak. They were undefeated throughout all the LEC playoffs, past the first series. They were undefeated through the first stage of MSI. They were undefeated through the Rumble stage of MSI. They had knocked off T1, knocked off RNG, did all this craziness, and they were looking pretty good. Maybe not unbeatable, maybe not dominant. Obviously, even their first game against T1, they got out to an early gold deficit, and some of those games against EG, maybe EG had a chance to win because G2 was flipping and stuff like that, but overall, G2 was looking good, and it's not like any of the other teams in the tournament had looked, without flaw or anything like that either. But obviously, over the past 2 days, G2 went from undefeated and on this crazy win streak to now on a loss streak. They've lost 4 in a row, at least at the time that I'm recording this video. Once this video comes out, maybe they'll have lost 5 in a row. Maybe they'll have lost 6 in a row. Maybe they'll be eliminated from MSI. I don't know. It just seems to be getting crazier and crazier. Obviously, Carlos and the G2 social medias and stuff, they've been tweeting out like, hey, we went on a 24-game win streak. Now we're going to go on a 24-game loss streak. And there's been all different kinds of kind of theories and stuff out there. There's been some people saying, hey, G2's drafts got really weird all of a sudden. Early on, they were drafting scaling. They were drafting team fighting. They're winning through that. And all of a sudden, they're picking weak mid-jungle duos for Caps and Jankos, their 2 best players. They're picking Callista for Flocked. They're not throwing BB on Ornn anymore. They're putting Targamas, who's a playmaker, on Yumi. Like, they're doing all these. They're trying to get a little too cute. They're trying to get a little too crazy in the drafts. It's not working. Some people are saying, hey, Claps, he comes and goes. That's just his thing. You don't get Claps for the whole tournament. Claps shows up for a couple games, then he sits out a couple games, then he'll be back. Maybe that's why G2 lost a couple. Maybe G2 just was overperforming before. Maybe when they beat T1 and RNG in the same day, maybe that was the peak, and now, they're kind of regressing to the mean a little bit. Some people think, fans were getting a little too ahead of themselves. Again, this was the 3rd best team, I believe the 3rd best team in the regular season, the LEC. It's not like they were supposed to just come to MSI and stomp all over everybody or anything like that. Some people are saying, hey, it's just a couple best ones. Who cares? There's all these different kinds of theories going on out there. But I think there is one that really tells the whole story and one that really makes the most sense. But to understand all this, you have to know who this is. And this, as I'm sure a lot of you know, is Plummy. This is a Korean Twitch streamer and cosplayer, and you can see here she is on the screen with Jankos, and I didn't really ever know all the kind of lore and the backstory and the whole Plummy and Jankos thing. Obviously, I've seen some tweets, I've seen some memes, especially as we got closer and closer to MSI. This stuff really started picking up, but Plummy tells the story about how they met. Of apparently one of Plummy's Twitch mods watches her a lot and watches Jankos a lot, so he would always talk to Plummy about Jankos and say, oh, Jankos is cool and funny and yada, yada, yada. And Plummy plays League. And eventually one of her clips got sent to Jankos. Jankos was like, oh, that's so cute. Oh, like, oh, she got a triple kill. She's popping off all this stuff. And it really started down this whole rabbit hole of them, like, anything Jankos said about her would get clipped and sent to her. Stuff that she said was getting clipped and sent to him. And they were doing this, I don't know, not e-dating, but, kind of just like flirting over Twitch and all this stuff. And this was before, this was in like December, January, before the LEC season even started, I'm pretty sure. And, we get all this craziness. Obviously, G2 wasn't even supposed to make it to Korea, probably. Like I said, they were kind of in a rebuilding mode. They were third place in the LEC regular season. They go on this crazy run. They make it to MSI. They make it to Korea. And then the memes start about, like Plummy and Jankos. Hey, they got to meet up. They got to get together. Is Jankos going to have this Plummy buff, all this stuff, and all this different content and stuff coming out. Apparently they played ARAM together. Jankos said he texted her when he was drunk. They met up and they streamed IRL. It all ended up leading up to this really, really crazy video from Horizon Esports. This was Ashley Kang actually getting Plummy and Jankos to meet up here, and it seemed like everything was working. Again, they were meeting, they were hanging out. This was the Plummy buff. This was Jankos taking down the undefeated Korean team in T1 and then taking down the top team from China in RNG as well. All the memes, everything was working out. I mean, this video got over 900,000 views. That is crazy for kind of English-speaking League of Legends content. We don't see a lot of numbers like that in present-day content and everything. And this was insane. And it's just hilarious. And it was all popping off. And I mean, like, some of these clips are crazy. We can watch this real quick. She's telling the story of, like, who she would root for between G2 and T1. Obviously, now that they're going to have to be playing against each other and stuff. She starts out by saying, we tend to support teams from our own nation, right? She's been a T1 fan for a long time. Now they've become friends. Oh, maybe he's getting friend zoned a little bit. And then she says, is it a friend or something else? And then she's saying that she's getting to know Jankos, all this stuff. Later on in this video, Jankos is like, hey, I'd love to take you out to dinner sometime. I'm sure we're going to hang out again. And she's like, yeah, I even said, hey, I would be willing to cook dinner for you or something if that's possible. Like, I mean, this is hilarious. It's super cool. It's super funny to see. It's awesome content, but it also seems like, they were hitting it off. It seems like things were going pretty well. And again, Jankos is also performing. G2 is also winning. This was, like I said, the Plummy buff. But then things took a turn for the worse. Then G2 loses a game. Then they lose 2. Then they lose 4 in a row. And this got some people wondering. This got some people asking some questions. Azale comes out and says, did Plummy dump Jankos? No more Plummy buff because, hey, the Plummy buff was undefeated there for a little while. G2 could not lose. They were taking down everybody. I thought this was a hilarious tweet. This is an awesome question to ask. This is absolutely hilarious. Just playing into the memes even further. Pretty on Ice actually responded, and he said, don't worry, they're just trying to go 5-5 again, because this is something that I think kind of gets lost in history. The year that G2 won MSI, they actually went 5-5 in the Rumble stage, which is pretty interesting. Again, IG went 9-1. Liquid went 4-6, and then ended up beating IG. So that also shows you that best of ones don't really matter all that much, and it's really how you show up in best of fives. It's really how you show up in knockout, because in history, like in the record books and in our minds, we just remember G2 won MSI. We don't remember G2 went 5-5 in the Rumble stage or anything like that. So the story of this MSI is far from being told. It's far from over. But the big thing we're talking about here, the bad news for Jankos, why he is potentially finished, is this. Plummy responds to Azale. Obviously, she's really good on social medias. Like I said, she's a streamer. She's a cosplayer. She's used to all this. She plays into the memes really, really well. She speaks English. She speaks Korean. She's fully tapped into the whole scene, the whole game. And she tweeted out this. She said, best friend zoned. And this is rough. This potentially explains so much. This potentially explains to us the downfall of G2, the downfall of Jankos, the downfall of the Plummy buff. This is not bad drafts. This is not G2 underperforming or overperforming previously. This is not, them just sucking all of a sudden or making stupid plays. This is a man going through it right now. This is a man who, things were going well. They were hitting it off, and we've all been there. He gets taken down by the friend zone. He gets taken down by this tweet from Plummy, which absolutely popped off. I quoted this, and you know, it's just funny. We're all waking up super early to watch these games and everything. I quoted this and said, just drop to my knees. We all have to feel bad for him. And then some people were saying, oh, it sounds like Jankos friend zoned her. You know, I don't really know the whole story. I don't know either way, but I just wanted to make this whole kind of funny video talking about this whole thing because I thought this tweet was hilarious, and I wanted to talk about the downfall of G2, but also at the same time, let everybody know that, hey, G2, as long as they make it to the knockout stage, they're probably going to be okay. I still think they are heavy favorites to make it to the knockout stage, even though they went 0-2 against PSG Talon. We'll see how this all plays out tomorrow. Obviously, this video is going to come out after all that's happened, so I can say, oh my God, I can't believe G2 barely squeaked into the semis or whatever. I really don't think they're going to be getting knocked out. I hope EG makes it as well. But hey, Liquid went 4-6. They beat IG. They made MSI finals. G2, they went 5-5. They end up winning the whole thing. It doesn't really matter all that much at the end of the day. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Make sure you say a prayer for Jankos. My man's, he might be real down bad right now. Not only is he on a losing streak in game, but he might be on a losing streak out of game as well. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about all this stuff. G2 struggles, Jankos' struggles, like I said, in or out of game. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save up to date on all my latest content. Consider checking out the first link in the description below for prize picks. Hopefully I catch you guys on the next one. But until then, peace.